Hurricanes versus the Adelaide Strikers. Adelaide batting 3 for 102. Keep the texts and information coming through. Tony Briscoe will be up with you after the news.
ABC News, read by Mark Adenall. A major fire in Tasmania's southeast has been downgraded, but authorities say homes in the region have been lost. The Fawcett fire east of Hobart is spread and is still active at Turana and near the larger communities of Fawcett, Eaglehawk Neck and Dodgers Ferry. Chief Fire Officer Mike Brown says the fire has been downgraded from an emergency listing to a watch and act, but he says residents still need to be monitoring the situation. Some residents and tourists at Coles Bay on Tasmania's east coast have chosen to stay despite the town being cut off by fire. Emily Bryan reports.
15 homes and shacks have been lost on the stretch of coast between Bicheno and the Freycinet Peninsula. Every home in the Courland Bay area was destroyed by the fire, threatening the small community of Landaff. Access to Coles Bay has been cut off by the blaze, but the community isn't at risk. Some have still chosen to evacuate.
We would have been safe, but the road was really smoky there, so...
Yeah, we've got friends that are trying to get through that narrow little gap there. Look, dodgy as, looks like it's going to breach across the road.
Others are staying despite the isolation.
We've got 3 days left here, so I might as well just stay. I'm not really worried about the bushfire much. We just hope it doesn't come in.
25 crews are fighting the fire.
A rural fire service team from New South Wales will touch down in Hobart tonight to assist their Tasmanian counterparts as they battle more than 40 blazes across the state. The crew of 6 will assess the damage to the more than 100 buildings destroyed in the fires. Inspector Ben Shepherd from the RFS says more crews are on standby to assist firefighters if need be.
At this stage, there has been no formal request for firefighters, so they have got a long and difficult few days ahead of them, and so has part of southeastern Australia over coming days. So we stand ready to assist any of our counterparts around the nation.
CFS crews in South Australia are monitoring a bushfire near Finnis to the south of Adelaide. The fire near Finnis is contained, but the CFS wants to declare it safe before the weather warms up again next week. Several other fires that were burning around the state yesterday have been either contained or controlled. Vineyard manager Mick McDade stayed to defend the property and his home from the flames.
I think it stopped about 5 metres from where the house was. And we had a 800-litre unleaded diesel bowser in that shed too, so we were really panicking about that, trying to keep the fire away from it, because if it had gone off it would have exploded and caused a hell of a lot of damage.
Police are investigating a fatal house fire near Kerrang in Victoria's north this afternoon. Emergency services were called to the blaze just before 4 o'clock. As they searched through the debris, firefighters found a body which is yet to be identified. The Northern Territory government has defended using taxpayer money to place an ad in a local newspaper so it could criticise the paper's stories. Melanie Arnost reports.
The advertisement takes up most of page 4 in today's Northern Territory news. It comes from the office of the Territory's Regional Development Minister, Alison Anderson, and criticises the newspaper over recent stories about $5,000 payments to people in bush communities. Ms Anderson says the stories were inaccurate, so the $4,000 government ad is justified.
Well, I think it's informing Territorians of the truth.
But the opposition's Michael Gunner has slammed it as a blatant waste of taxpayer money.
This would cost thousands of taxpayers' dollars because the CLP do not like scrutiny.
He says the government should have paid for the ad using private party funds instead.
To sport, in Sri Lanka has an 87-run lead and 3 wickets in handed stumps on day 3, the third and final cricket test against Australia at the SCG. Jennifer Browning reports.
On a day the SCG turned pink to celebrate Jane McGrath Day, Australia resumed its innings with a lead of 48 and extended that to 138 with the help of Matthew Wade. He was 102 not out before the home side declared for 432. The visitors looked to be back on top in their second innings before losing 6 wickets in quick succession in the afternoon. Dimith Karunaratne top scored with 85, while Mitchell Johnson was the best of the Australian bowlers, taking 2 for 19. Playing in his final test match for Australia, Michael Hussey bowled the final over of the day. Jennifer Browning, ABC News, Sydney.
The Newcastle Jets and Adelaide United have played out a scoreless draw to open round 15 of the A-League. To the national weather for Sunday. Sydney mostly sunny, a top of 27 degrees. Melbourne mostly sunny, 29. Brisbane a shower or two, 29 degrees. Perth the chance of a storm, 37. Adelaide sunny, 36 degrees. In Hobart sunny, a top of 27. Canberra sunny and 37 degrees. Darwin showers, an afternoon storm and 34 degrees. This is ABC News.
If you need information about bushfires, including road closures and emergency advice, please head to the Tasmanian Fire Service website. That's www.fire.tas.gov.au. For information about preparing yourself for approaching bushfires, head to abc.net.au/emergency or follow the Twitter handle @ABCEmergency. If you don't have internet access and have questions about missing people or damaged property, the number to call is the Fire Hotline, 1-800-567-567. That's 1-800-567-567. A high number of people are currently using this service, so please only call the Fire Hotline if you need urgent information about missing relatives or damaged property. Please only call 000 if you're in a genuine emergency or life-threatening situation. And for emergency information and more fire updates, stay tuned to ABC Local Radio.
936 ABC Hobart and ABC Northern Tasmania. Your emergency services broadcaster. Fire update.
And good evening, everyone. Tony Briscoe with you on this Saturday night at 6 minutes after 8. We'll be with you right through until midnight this evening, keeping you informed as to what's happening with the bushfires around